Have you ever wondered how old a tree is? We're going to use an increment borer today to determine the age and the growth characteristics of this tree. My name's Jeff Fellers, and I'm a forestry agent with Clemson Extension. Today I have an increment borer that we use in forestry to help us look at tree age and tree growth. And they're really pretty simple tools. It's 3 pieces with a drill bit, a handle, and a little tray that allows us to slide the core out of the tree. So with that, I've already started a core here, and I'm going to try to hit the center of the tree. And we want to go halfway through the tree because as the tree grows, it puts a ring around each year. So we're going to try to hit the center of this tree, and when we think we're at the center, I'm going to slide my tray in so I can pull that core out of the tree. And if we're lucky, the core comes out in one piece and we can count the rings. So if we look at our tree here, and this one actually came out pretty good. So if we look at our tree, we can see this would be the center of the tree, this would be the bark. And as you look, you can see light rings and you can see dark rings. And as you go from the center of the tree to the outside of the tree, the rings get closer together. So why are some rings light and some rings dark? The light rings are called early wood or spring wood. Early wood or spring wood is typically grown in the spring. Reason being is the weather is more conducive to growth. You have more moisture, you have better temperatures, so the tree is able to pull that moisture up and grow rapidly. And then the late wood or the summer wood is produced in the summer when the weather's hot and dry. The cell walls of your summer wood are typically thicker and the cells are smaller, so it produces a darker band. Now if we look at these dark bands, we can see, with this being the center of the tree, we can see that when this tree was young, the growth was pretty rapid. And as this tree ages, the growth gets smaller. Now if we count those rings, this tree is 50 plus years old. Probably this tree is slowing in growth because it's reached a mature status. As pine trees age, the growth will slow and it will put on very little growth year after year, and that may mean it's time to harvest the tree. Also, sometimes you'll see these rings get closer together when there's competition. So if this was a 15 to 20-year-old tree and you saw the bands getting close like this, that would mean that there were other trees competing for nutrients, light, water, air, space, and they're not growing as well. So this would be an indication that we may need to thin our timber. So as we look at the increment borer, we can determine a lot about the growth of a tree. And that helps us in forest management. Because if we know our tree growth has slowed and it's time to thin, we know as timber managers we need to harvest some of that timber. Or we could be getting to the end of our lifespan for our trees. They've reached their maturity and it's time to harvest all the trees and then replant. So all this we can determine from an increment borer that we use today. If you have any questions, please feel free to call Jeff Fellers. My number is 864-427-6259, or you can always reach us by Facebook with this post.